Mobile Gamers Unite. What's up, guys? We gotta talk about the Arcane battlegarb, okay? I don't want to say I misjudged this item. It is what it is, but it does have a purpose now that I think about it. First of all, I was double checking this item to make sure that it worked and that there wasn't a translation issue. And truth be told, guys, I was actually hoping that there was an issue. I was hoping that there was some kind of translation issue, and that maybe somebody that actually uses magic defense could actually equip this thing. Like, if Luna could equip this, it'd be awesome, because her magic defense is just off the chain, son, and she would be able to do a shit ton of fixed damage. Also, Luna's always actually attacking, so this will proc. No, I did run this in the game. It does work as described, okay? The barb damage hits when you attack. You have to actually attack somebody. Hit points and magic defense plus 3%. When initiating an attack, deals fixed damage to the enemy. Damage is 90% of the hero's magic defense. Oh, and while we're on the subject of this thing, notice that this is a 4-star item. That's because I pulled 2 of them using my little pull system, and to me it's like fishing now. I throw a line out there, I throw a couple lines out there. When it hits gold, I nut the fuck out of it and throw as many as I can, and I'll get like 3-4 golds in a row, or I'll get an SSR in there somewhere, and then it'll go back to blue, and then I wait. And I just throw a ticket here or there. If we can hit on that gold, then just go for it. But it's worked. Okay, and since I made my last video talking about SSR items coming down in waves, as soon as I got done shooting that, I pulled another Arcane battlegarb, and I was really hoping it was going to be those Apex boots, but them things just do not want to come down. I got a feeling that if I did manage to get those boots, they would probably be the last item that I pulled on here. And I still haven't gotten the Queen Staff either, which I wouldn't mind having, because for a healer, or somebody like Lestelle that can keep her health full, that can give her a huge intelligence boost. I'd have to look into that, though, because Lestelle uses magic defense to scale all that, so I don't know if intelligence would actually be worth a shit to her. But this armor would work great with Lestelle. Too bad she can't wear it. I was kind of hoping that if there is a mistake in this item, it would be right here in the used by. So I was like, maybe they got that wrong. Maybe other people can equip it too, and not just Landius. In fact, I don't know. Let's check on that. Let's actually look at a character that, I don't know, uses magic defense and see if they can equip it. If that was the case, I'd be so freaking happy. Anyway, here's what I found out, though, guys. I can't exactly count this armor out. And no, it's not even showing up here. You can't really count this armor out, because at the end of the day, it is a good piece of supplemental gear to have for Landius. If you're running Landius, it's a good piece of gear to have, and we'll get into that real quick. Nobody else really uses magic defense. Here's the thing, guys. Landius specializes in being a ranged tank, okay? And he retaliates to ranged attacks, which includes magic, all right? And his magic defense, it's not terrible. You know, it's like 300 something. It's not terrible, because of course he's getting hit with ranged attacks, and half of them are going to be magic. I just watched somebody cast Fireball, and he jumped in the way and tanked it and retaliated, and when that happens, those mages get destroyed. But also, another thing I'd like to point out, it was really easy for me. I mean, I threw probably like 20 of the steel enhancement scrolls on it, and I got magic defense 15% on it. It's also giving me 2 intelligence. It's also giving me 3 attack. But that's pretty cool. 15% to your magic defense on top of, you know, it's giving you 3% and some hit points. So I'm getting 18% magic defense off of this item. That's pretty cool because it's also giving me hit points and it's giving me defense. I also have to look at where these hit points and defense max out. I'm thinking maybe because it's such a mixed matched item, maybe the hit point value or the defense value on it ends up being really, really good. Regardless, this can be used by Landius, and I'm going to leave it on him. I've obviously pulled 2 of these, and I combined them. And the reason I did that, even though it's like a new semi-rare item, is because I don't really see anybody else that can benefit from this. And before I combine them, I did run it to make sure that it works the way that they say it works, because I was kind of hoping that maybe there was a translation error and somebody like Basil could equip this shit and actually use his magic defense, you know. But you know what? It works. It works pretty well because once every few turns, Landius does want to attack. He does. He throws a fusion, which is up for 4 turns, and then he does his tank ability, and then for the next couple of turns, he can go out and headhunt and attack people. And that is one of the biggest advantages of having him as a tank, is he's a very offensive tank. So, okay, this kind of adds to that, and I would say that this armor is important for mage fights, okay? If Landius is going to be tanking magic damage, this is what you want. This is what you want for him to retaliate against mages, because this is going to give you a bunch of magic defense. And yeah, the whole little fixed damage thing based on your magic defense, I mean, it's alright. I have to see how it hits now. Because I only ran it at when it was a 2-star. So let's see if we can... an unavoidable confrontation. Let's see if we can get our feet wet real quick and just kind of showcase how this thing works. So I'll take Rachel into this and Landius, and I need to work on this Rachel, okay? Here's what keeps on happening. I keep running this Rachel and being disappointed because she's not healing like my other Rachel on my alt account. That's right. The Rachel on my alt account is outdoing the Rachel on my main account. But that's probably because the one on my alt account's a 6-star. So, let's see. There she is. There he is. Let's start him up here. Yeah, why not? And this might not be a bad idea, time to showcase this, because there are rogues here. They're not throwing magic attacks, so this item's not particularly gonna help against rogues. But, 1, 2... Tell you what, let's have you tank for somebody. Actually, no, what we want is we want for this fool to buff himself up, and then we want to go around and attack a few of these rogues if we can survive, and we just want to see how this fixed damage stuff is working, right? So let's weaken these guys up a little bit, so they're not just destroying us. And here, I'm sure they'll try to go for Basil, and he can tank for them. And then next turn, we will we'll attack with him, and we'll see how this fixed damage stuff works. Defense 270. See, that's the thing. When his defense is like 270 or like 300, you can't exactly expect for him to retaliate a shit ton when his magic defense is only like 300. Now somebody like, I don't know, Ledin, who I've definitely seen with like a 600 magic defense or 400 or 500. But too bad Ledin can't equip. Well, actually, you know what? Ledin might be able to equip this in his hero class. So actually, I might have to look into that. Anyway, so here's attacking. And he survives, so chill. Boom. 532 damage. That's what we got, boys and girls. 532 damage. This is already a 4-star item. Now, granted, this guy doesn't have the most magic defense in the world, but still, I'm sorry, that's kind of embarrassing. Like, hitting for 500 fixed damage. So, I'm going to see what we can do with this thing with maybe Leaden. And it's cool because I need to work on my Leaden on this account. He's only at a 3,000 power. Maybe this, I mean, it does give hit points and it gives magic defense and it gives some defense too. So, I mean, the thing is just so scattered. It is scattered all over the place. Let's do some fixed damage to this slime. Chill. Let's see, this guy does hit alright, you know. I don't think that this fixed damage that they put on this armor is worth a damn. I mean, they could have made this item so much better. I feel like they spent more time drawing the little picture of what they wanted the item to look like than they actually did working on the damn item. It's kind of sad. It's a cool looking set of armor made out of crystals and spikes, and it doesn't do a damn thing. Like, I could understand you doing fixed damage and a low amount of fixed damage, but you should be able to do that every time you get attacked. It should work like the mirror armor. Hell, the mirror armor does a lot more because it's scaling off of defense, and it's scaling off of defense on units that actually use defense. Cavalry and infantry, who the hell is going to have a high magic defense if they're cavalry or infantry? I could understand Luna, I could understand Basil, I could understand, but none of those characters can equip this. So the other thing it makes me really think about, and this might really be a possibility. Let's see, how many of these guys can I get? Only 2. Okay. They might have released this armor for maybe a specific character that's coming out soon. It's just really hard to imagine what kind of freaking character that would be, because it'd have to be either infantry or cavalry unit that primarily uses magic defense. I could see it. I could see it being possible. I could see somebody like an infantry or cavalry unit using magic defense to scale their attack up. It's been done in this game. Basil does it. Lestel does it. There's a lot of characters that do it. There's just not a lot of cavalry and infantry characters that are doing that. So maybe they're coming out with a new character, and maybe this is what they do, and they could benefit from something like this. But as it stands right now, this thing has a good magic defense on it, so I'll tell you exactly how I'm going to use it. If I get into a fight and I need Landius to tank a bunch of fireballs from a bunch of stupid wizards, that's going to be the armor that I'm putting on. That's pretty much what we're going to have to do with this. So, all in all, it's been a mixed day. It's been a mixed bag. But I think what is cool, you know, I might have not gotten the SSR item I wanted, but what I did get is a better understanding of how these SSR items drop from this process of pulling on these items for the past couple of days. I've started really paying attention, and it all started when I heard a difference between a normal summon and an SR summon. You can just hear it. It's a different hum. And then once I realized that, and I kind of really started listening to them and paying attention to them, I realized that these yellows come down in like little spurts. And I realized that because I was sitting here doing one summon after another, listening to them to see if I could hear a rainbow before I actually got one. First world problems. I was bored. But then that's when I like actually started noticing that when the SRs were dropping, they were all dropping in waves. Like there's like 3 or 4 of them in a row, and then they stop. And then there's, you know, you hit an SR again, and if you hurry up and throw some more in there, you can get 3 or 4 of them in a row. And somewhere in there, there's an SSR if you get lucky. So my whole thing now is if I see... Yeah, I'm just going to finish that. If I see a gold come down, as soon as I realize that it's not an SSR, I just skip through everything and summon the next one as quick as possible and crack it as quick as possible. Skip the animation if you can. So, I know I've rambled about this a little bit, but I'm convinced, and I'm pretty excited about it too, because it's going to help me a lot in the future when summoning. Now, disclaimer, okay? I know this works for the item banners, okay? That's just how it is. I honestly think it probably works the same way for units, but I haven't proven that to myself yet. I haven't really messed with it. When the next banner comes down with new characters, that's what your boy's going to be doing. I'm going to be making a video about me summoning for these new units. I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to be using this theory. I'm going to be fishing for a gold spot. When that gold spot hits, I'm going to nut the fuck out of it and see what I can get out of it. That's what your boy's going to do. All right, so to me, it's confirmed that this is how it works on items. I do think it's very similar with unit summons, okay? And my theory is that all of this ties into why it's better to do single pulls than 10 pulls at a time. Because if you really think about this, guys, and this is just a working theory in progress, all right, correct me if you think I'm wrong. If there are small windows of time here and there when SR and SSR characters drop, instead of just doing a 10 pull and doing all 10 of those pulls in that 1 second and clearly having a very good chance of missing that small window, instead you're doing those summons one by one by one by one. They take longer to do, and along the way of doing 10 individual summons and, you know, waiting a couple seconds in between, you're more likely to hit that window where the SSR is actually coming down. And at least 1 or 2 of your pulls could be in that window, and you could have a decent chance of getting an SSR to drop. Instead of just doing a 10 pull and all 10 of them just getting pulled in that 1 second, you either missed that window or you didn't. This also explains why sometimes when you hit on a 10 pull, you can pull 2 SSRs in 1 pull, and I've done that. I got Lana and Basil from the same banner on 1 10 pull, and they literally were right next to each other. So now that I look back on all of that, again, this has not been confirmed at all by me for the unit summons, but I have a good idea that this is probably why I'm having better luck pulling SSR characters by doing single pulls. Okay, you're doing those single pulls, it takes more time, you're probably going to hit that window with at least 1 or 2 of your summons, and then you at least have a chance here and there. I don't know, but to me, that's probably why I've been getting a lot more SSR characters by doing single pulls. Because it takes so much longer to do it, you're guaranteed to pull through that window 1 or 2 times and actually have a chance. As opposed to just dropping your 10 pull, and in that 1 second, all 10 of those summons get done. And if you miss that window, you miss it. So this is a working theory. This is a hypothesis, all right? I'm going to definitely be checking it out, and I'll keep you guys posted, but this all ties into why I think it's better to do single pulls, and I've always preached that, all right? And now you can say I'm talking out of my ass, and you can say whatever, but here's the thing, guys. Off the top of your head, can you think of anyone that's done more pulls in this game than me? I mean, I'm not trying to claim to be some king shit whale or anything like that, but I have a pretty good freaking idea of how the summoning system works in this game because I've done so many of them. Oh, cool. In fact, let's see. One of these challenges. Okay, so look. I'm almost at 2,000 hero summons on this account. Okay? And my alt account's probably, I don't know, it's at least 600-700. All right? By now it is. So I've done over 2,000 pulls. I don't know how many other players out there have done, 2,000 pulls. In fact, you know what? You guys could help me out. Check to see how many pulls you've done and leave me a comment, just so I can kind of guesstimate, just so I know where other people are at. If you could do that, that'd be cool. Also, if you get a chance to try to pull for any of these items and you use my system and just start hitting on yellows, let me know how that works out for you. I want to do a social experiment. I want to see if any of this helps other people, because really at the end of the day, that's what I do this for. So if you guys could, leave me your thoughts. Let me know. If this has worked for you, definitely let me know. Show some support, because that'll encourage other people to try it, and we could be helping everybody out. So check to see how many hero summons you've done, and think about it. This is coming from a guy that I've done well over 2,000 summons in this game between this account and my other account. All right. Oh, I need one more 6-star hero. Oh boy, I better get on that. Anyway, this is Mobile Gamers Unite. Okay, I'm sure I've given you enough food for thought for tonight. Go ahead, think about it. Let me know what you think. Leave me a comment. Hit like, hit subscribe. More content on the way. Mobile Gamers Unite. Peace out, homies. Okay, anytime now. Alright, here we go. Mobile Gamers Unite. I'm going to throw y'all the deuces.